can a positive food review from someone like you do to a restaurant?
Easy Street was probably the best scenario. I went there on a Wednesday at 1 o'clock. They had, I think, 2 people eating in the restaurant. I go order, I get the food, do the review. For the next 6 months, they had an hour-and-a-half line every single day of the week. It got up to 2 hours to 3 hours on the weekend at all times that they were open, and they sold out, I think, for the first like couple days because I forgot to give them a warning that I was posting the review, and they were like, dude, we ran out of patties, we ran out of meat. Like, I don't know, like, you got to give me a warning before you do something like this.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so podcasts, talking head clips, that's something that we focus on ourselves. So the first thing is always textual hook at the beginning, top. It allows you to cut into the conversation at a more abrupt moment, kind of like a cold open, if you will, which enables us to create the context. Because if we need to cut in the moments leading up to this conversation, it's generally going to be pretty boring. So we can just skip that and just bang, put a textual hook up, makes it really simple. I guess the visual aid stuff that you were referring to is this kind of photo collage, if you will, that comes up from the bottom, so we can see who he's talking to immediately. Like we're at 0 seconds here. We've got the context. Kev eats on his most famous reviews. Then we've got a picture of him because not everyone's going to remember his name. And we've got the podcast host asking the question. Context is created immediately, which is so important with Talking Head.
I also just wanted to say, so this is something that we use a lot for our clients, the zoom in on a point, like at that point, right? So when someone is making an important point or something that we want to stress to the audience, we do a little zoom in. So explain why that's important.
So the scale in, zoom in, whatever you want to call it, basically, let me see if I can find an example of it. I think they do it here. So a mini, that's just a cut, I guess. It's not really a zoom or a scale in. The reason why that's important is because when we're consuming content, we subconsciously build a pattern in our head, right? So we have this kind of rhythm that's going on. Believe it or not, you guys are doing this subconsciously. And when you're creating this pattern in your head, you sometimes get into a bit of a lull, and that's kind of when you zone out, right? Because you're just kind of mindlessly watching something. Nothing really is stimulating you, and that's usually a sign when someone's going to swipe off. When you do a pattern disrupt, right? So when we scale in, it's like, oh, all of a sudden we were at this angle, and it's not a big thing, but it makes a big difference. And we scale in like that. Oh, what just happened? Contrast creates focus, right? Think about the storyline here. We just went from talking about having 2 people in the restaurant to having a line that was an hour and a half long. It really emphasizes the point. And I think this is something that a lot of talking head videos should do. We do this quite often, where when I deliver a very important point, our editor cuts in hard. One thing I will say with scale in, zoom ins, that kind of stuff, where you're doing a pattern disrupt, if you do it too many times, it ruins the impact that it will deliver. So make sure you guys use it scarcely. Don't just spam them, because on the flip side, I've seen a lot of videos where it's just like cut in, out, in, out, in, out. And that's actually just distracting, and it takes away from the video.
I mean, this video in general just shows you how important short form videos are. I mean, it makes and breaks some food businesses.
Power of social media. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Actually, we didn't even talk about what actually happened in this video. That's wild that one influencer can go in, post a video, and 4 hours later basically make a restaurant successful. Like, yeah, so guys, if you have a business and you're not doing short form content, or you're not, working with influencers or user generated content services, this is a prime example of why you need to do this.